What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and let's talk about a $2,000 fourth federal level recession stimulus check, which we're hearing is very likely going to be on the way here, as this week we're expecting the announcement of a recession, and also we just heard from the White House on this. I've got the video footage and articles, and you are not going to believe the response that they just gave. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, first off, take a look, you guys. We're hearing that the number one reason another check could be on the table is going to be due to a recession. They're saying the way things are going with our economy, a recession is very likely going to be announced this week, and as a result, stimulus checks, they're going to be necessary to help out the American people. Take a look, you guys. How likely are stimulus checks to be used in the next recession? Economists weigh in, and they're saying very likely. Americans are going to need it. Take a look. Stimulus checks likely in the next recession, says one expert, though right now would be a terrible time, and this is due to the fact that we have 9.1% year-over-year inflation. And we're hearing that this week, the Federal Reserve is going to be announcing how they're going to be combating this. We're expecting them to crank up those interest rates. Take a look, you guys. Just coming out today, the Fed could surprise markets by sounding even more aggressive as the economy teeters. And they're saying an aggressive interest rate hike will very likely mean a recession right now. But you guys, we heard from the White House on this, and they said, what are you talking about? No, everything is just fine. Our economy's doing great. Things are going well. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this video footage that just came out from the White House.
Quote, consumers are in good shape. They're spending money. They have more income. Jobs are plentiful. They're spending 10% more than last year, almost 30% more than pre-COVID. Businesses, you talk to them, they're in good shape. They're doing fine. We have never seen business credit better ever in our lifetime.
So there you have it. Business credit, consumers, never better in our lifetime. Now I'm going to be sharing with you the entire video clip so that way you can see it for yourself here in just a second. But why are they coming out with this? Well, it's because we're hearing that GDP, the economy, is likely going to be pulling back, and that's going to be 2 consecutive quarters, which, take a look, the definition of a recession. Typically, most people would say it's generally identified as a fall in GDP after 2 consecutive quarters, right? Well, the White House says, no, you've had it wrong all this time. That is right. Take a look. An official press release from the White House. How do economists determine whether the economy is going to be in a recession? Well, what is a recession? While some maintain that it's 2 consecutive quarters of falling real GDP, that constitutes a recession. That is neither the official definition nor the way that economists evaluate the state of the business cycle. Wow. So, you've had it wrong all this time. And also, just in case you were wondering, 1 + 1, it actually equals 3. Take a look, you guys. No, the White House is not changing the definition of a recession. The White House recently laid out why 2 quarters of negative growth does not always signal a recession. Yet a growing number of voices have accused the administration of changing the definition of a downturn. You guys, let me know your thoughts. I apologize. I normally don't give my opinion on this, but this is just seems silly to me. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, can we just not try to change the definitions of things and defend our stances and try to focus on helping out the American people that are hurting right now? If we are entering into a recession, let's just say we're entering into a recession. We need help. Let's send out economic provisions. Let's make it targeted to make sure that it helps out those that need it the most and not add more debt and more inflation. Let's reissue existing funds. Let's go ahead and address the things that people need addressed. To me, it just seems like absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. I apologize. Normally, I don't give my opinions, but this just seems outright silly to me. But anyways, let's continue on. We're going to be taking a look at the video footage here in just a second. But before we do, if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, if you could just do me a quick favor, smash that like button for me. It helps out my channel a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? I'll let you know everything going on, what's going to be announced, what's going to be unfolding. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel where you can learn about growing wealth and personal finance. I hope that channel is a blessing to you. I'm also going to be covering the state of the economy, what's happening with the housing market crash, a recession, inflation, keeping you up to date on the latest. And also, one thing that hopefully can help everybody here that is interested is www.reliefroadmap.com. If you're interested in knowing about all the stimulus checks on all the levels that they're unfortunately not telling you about, people are missing out on this all the time, go over there, put your email. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows about everything available because people are missing out on state, city, and county checks because There is not enough awareness. I want to make sure that nobody misses out and you can get everything that's available to you, because it's not just the federal checks. There's also state, city, and county checks as well. Now, we've already had about 3,000 people sign up. We're trying to get more. We're trying to raise awareness, make sure that everybody knows about everything available. So be sure to spread the word. www.reliefroadmap.com. If you haven't already, go add your email so you're notified of the comprehensive list of all checks I'm planning to release here very soon. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's take a look at this video footage of what the White House just had to say about the state of our economy, a recession, inflation. We're going to be seeing about some recession stimulus checks. Let's go ahead and take a look.
I want to read from Senator Warren's op-ed today, Jared, because it speaks to me. Before the Federal Reserve triggers a recession, Mr. Powell should remember that the one medicine in the kit that he has doesn't treat the economic illness that we have. Low unemployment and high inflation are painful, but manufacturing a recession that puts millions of Americans out of work may not even work on high prices. So it seems weird that that's what we're orchestrating. It's not a good way to do business.
So a lot to unpack there, as well as the conversation that Becky just had with Steve. I guess I would really object to this kind of semantic claim. I mean, the two of them just had a very substantive economic discussion that wasn't about semantics. It was about what's going on with key economic variables. The idea that 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is a technical definition of a recession is wrong. And I think one of the things we tried to point out in that blog is that the folks who actually make that call, the Business Cycle Dating Committee, they look at a set of variables, some of which, as Steve underscored, remain quite strong. Now, when you talk about gas prices, that's right. They're down 66 cents off their peaks, about 13%. And, that's a savings in aggregate of well over $200 million a day. I'm glad you're showing that map. In 8 of those states there in the South, gas is actually below $4 a gallon. I think it's around 30,000 gas stations, about a fifth of all stations. So, yes, prices are too elevated. By the way, they're not twice what they were before Putin's war. They were about 320 there. They're about around 4. What is it today? It's 436 today. So not twice, but definitely uncomfortably elevated still. We very much have more work to do in that space, Jared, but the trend is moving in the right direction.
Jared, it's just the catch-22 that we find ourselves in. And I was listening to Secretary Yellen rightly talking about how great the jobs market is right now, how low unemployment is right now. Consumers still seem to be doing okay. But if you're trying to orchestrate a demand slowdown, all those things make the Fed's job even harder and mean maybe they have to go even further. So I struggle with this. Is the economy in such a good place right now that we can withstand a series of interest rate hikes? Or is the economy in such good shape right now that it means we got to go much further to bring down the pricing pressure?
Well, that's exactly the right question. And I think the point out of the conversation that Becky and Steve had, which is very much the way we think about this, is that if you look at the first half of the year, it's very hard to make a recessionary call. The data just aren't consistent with a recession in the first half, including where we are right now. But what kind of visibility do we have looking forward around the next corner to answer your very well-framed question? I mean, those data come in with a lag, which is why the Business Cycle Dating Committee tells you you're in a recession well after it started, in many cases after it's over. But I do want to read you one thing, Joe, because this is very timely. It's from an earnings call. It speaks directly to your question. It's from an earnings call by J.P. Morgan last week, so very up to date. Quote, Consumers are in good shape. They're spending money. They have more income. Jobs are plentiful. They're spending 10% more than last year, almost 30% more than pre-COVID. Businesses, you talk to them, they're in good shape. They're doing fine. We have never seen business credit better ever in our lifetimes. Now, that doesn't mean all bets are off regarding recession probabilities, but it does mean that the backdrop of a strong labor market, solid balance sheets, elevated consumer spending puts us in a good place relative to where we've often been in times of pressures like those we face right now.
So there you have it, you guys. That just came out, and this week we're going to be hearing from the Federal Reserve, getting that economic data, and it's very likely we're going to be hearing a lot of announcements of an official recession, but the White House is saying it's not official. Now, we will see how everybody responds to this, what's going to be happening with the Federal Reserve, Congress, stimulus. I will keep you up to date every step of the way, you guys. But that is the latest, and once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Keep an eye out for that comprehensive list of all checks on all levels so you don't miss out on anything, because we're hearing a lot of people are missing out on this right now. We've got one in Connecticut where after 6 months, they've only given out 1% of the funds. They were given $34 million. They've only given out $300,000, and it's because they're saying nobody's applying, and they're saying it's because nobody knows about it. I'm going to make sure that does not happen to you. I'm going to make sure that all of my viewing community knows about every single stimulus check provision available to them. And also, you guys, if you're interested, consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.